Hello everyone and welcome to the latest Lone Explorer adventure. Today I'll be taking you to the Blue Mountains just outside of Sydney. The end of May or the start of June are a great time to visit Sydney and base yourself here for a weekend, as you can check out the Vivid Light Festival at night time. During my stay in Sydney, I made sure to check out the Shangri-La Hotel. I only stayed here one night because that's all I could afford, but I made this one night count with a harbour view room that overlooks one of the best views in all of the world, Sydney Harbour. Next morning it was time to hire a car and make our way to the Blue Mountains. You don't have to hire a car, you can catch public transport up to the Blue Mountains, but by doing this it gives you more freedom to stop and go anywhere you like along the way. Also, I've never driven around in Sydney, so it gave me the opportunity to drive across the Harbour Bridge, which is quite fun in itself. I've never been to the Blue Mountains before. I didn't know what to really expect other than visiting the Three Sisters, the three pointy rocks that you see in all the photos. But I didn't realise that there's a whole tourist attraction based around the Three Sisters called Scenic World. Entry to Scenic World gets you access to 4 different attractions. The first one you go on is called the Skyway, which is basically a big cable car that runs from one side of the gorge to the other, with views on one side of the Three Sisters, and then on the other side you look down and there's a waterfall, so it's quite impressive to do that. Once you get to the other side, you get off the Skyway and you take a hike for as short or as long as you like, taking you right up to the Three Sisters lookout and further on to the Three Sisters themselves. Once you reach the Three Sisters, you can then scale down some stairs which are very narrow and steep. It takes you down to what's known as Honeymoon Bridge. Honeymoon Bridge then takes you to one of the Three Sisters, which is closest to the cliffside. But you may not want to spend too much time here, as there isn't much room for people first of all to come down the stairs, and it's quite narrow and you have to move to the side and wait for people. But once you're down there, there's no room at all other than standing on the bridge, and then in the Three Sisters themselves there's a little crevice where you can stand in there and look back, but there's so many people coming down that you want to spend a few minutes here and then head back up. back up, you'll catch the Skyway back over to where you started, and from here you have the option to catch the railway down or the cableway. I chose to do the cableway, which gives you an impressive view as you come down over this steep cliffside and you look back up at the waterfalls that the Skyway took you across, and you can also see a glimpse of the Three Sisters as well. Once you're down the bottom, there's a boardwalk that snakes its way around. You can either go straight to the railway, catch the cableway back up, or take the boardwalk. Getting the railway back up to the top is quite fun in itself. It's the steepest in the world, and as I found out, be sure to take advantage of the padded bar that's in front of you. I was sitting in the front row and my knees were against the mesh screen, which really hurt when you're on a vertical incline going backwards. It was then time for me to drive back to Sydney, and for $39 this wasn't a bad day out at all to catch 2 cableways and a railway, which is the steepest in the world. I hope you enjoyed this day out to the Blue Mountains. Be sure to check out Sydney in either May or June. Don't necessarily have to stay in a fancy hotel like the Shangri-La. You can stay anywhere and just make it the effort to go out into the city, catch the train in, and check out all the buildings up close and personal. Until next time, keep exploring!